Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to week 11 of the Blitz Player Props Release Show presented by EV Analytics. I am your host, Keith Eyster, Ice819 over at RotoGrinders and Scores and Odds. I am joined today, as always, by Derek Carty, creator of the Blitz Projection System. Derek, we were back in the green last week after a couple down weeks. How are you doing today? And let's quickly recap last week, and then we'll move into our one. We've got one that we think might move quickly, so brief recap here.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Nice to get into a winning week last week. We hit Fields' carries over, we hit Dalton's under, we hit the Melvin Gordon under. If you guys aren't doing the tweet ones, like, make sure you're paying attention because they've been doing really well. We ran a little bad because Sam Ehlinger didn't start, so that one was basically no action. But had he started, he would have been benched. He would have been benched halfway through. It would have been an easy win. But 30 minutes before game time, they're like, Matt Ryan's going to start. So it is what it is. But 3-2, and one of the losses was, I think, a pretty big plus money one. So good week. And we have a few props have been pretty slow to trickle out this week, so I'm sure we'll be adding more. We have a couple of big plus money ones today that I love. We have one other one where we'll get right into it, I guess. Let's jump into our first one.
Yeah, sounds good. Just 23-17 on the season, up 6.2 units, 14% ROI on the season. So still in a very good spot for the season. And we are looking for some more good ones for everyone here today. Our first one for this week is over at Bet365. We are looking at the Monday night game, actually, the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to the Indianapolis Colts. We have Philly as -7 favorites and a 45.5 game total here. We are looking at the quarterback passing yards market. We're in the dome here in Philly. We've got the Colts trailing or projected to lose by 7 points here. So we are looking at the passing yards for Matt Ryan, and we are looking to go over 221.5. We have that at plus money right here, plus 110.
Yeah, this one's really interesting because not most of the market, the entire rest of the market is at 227 or 228. And most of them are at minus money, 227 minus 110, 228 minus 115, something like that. So to get 221 plus 110 here is really nice. The Blitz is projecting a big number. The Blitz is projecting 290 for Matt Ryan. The rest of the market has been moving down a little bit. He opened at 229 at most books, and he's down to 228 or 227. So I don't love to see that, and that doesn't happen very often when it comes to the Blitz. But this is just so out of line with the market, and the projection is so far ahead of it that I'm okay hitting this number. And honestly, if you want to hit the 227 numbers, 227, I think Caesars is the only book plus money, 227 plus 104. I'm okay doing that. There is uncertainty because we have 1 week of a new coach, Jeff Saturday. We have 1 week. I guess there's maybe a little risk that Ryan does get benched for Ehlinger. I don't think they'll reverse like that, but it's possible. Saturday was a little more run heavy than Reich had been this year, which is not awesome, but it's 1 week. You don't want to overreact. And it's just a low number. Matt Ryan, even though it was with different coaching, has gone over this number in every game except for one this year. In his dome games this year, he's averaged 308 yards, like almost 100 yards over this number. Yeah, it's cherry picking a little bit. You don't want to do game logs, but the projection's 290. Even with the uncertainty, I think there's enough margin for error, especially at plus 110, where this is just too good to pass up.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a ton of sense with Indy in a negative game script here in the dome. The Blitz is always all over the dome.
Yeah.
The Blitz is ahead of the market on how much a dome game impacts passing, especially. You talked about it on several occasions before, how passing rate raises indoors, and with the negative game script projected, makes a ton of sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, they should be playing from behind. They should be throwing, and it should be a very fast-paced game. Both teams play at a pretty fast pace here. We should see extra volume in general. So I like this.
All right, very good. Moving on to our second bet of the week. We are staying right here on Bet365. We are looking to the Chicago-Atlanta game. The Bears traveling to the Falcons. Another dome game here. We have Atlanta as 3-point favorites. This total is at 49 or 49 and a half, depending on where you're shopping. So another Bears game with a big total. We are looking at the quarterback passing touchdown market. Give a minute to get there. There we are, player passing touchdowns, and we are looking at a big plus money number here on Marcus Mariota over 1.5 touchdowns, plus 210.
Yeah. If you were to have bet Marcus Mariota's touchdown props every single game this year, you'd be profitable. And I think the narrative is that, like, well, they're a super run heavy team and Mariota's terrible. And so we always get these like plus 210, plus 215 lines. And to beat a plus 210 line, you need the event to happen at least 32% of the time. Mariota has done this 40% of the time this year. And this week, they have the third highest team total on the board. Like, yeah, they're going to be run heavy. Like, maybe the touchdowns are going to come on the ground, but they have the third highest team total on the board. And he's already done this more often than the odds that we're getting. So the Blitz is actually projecting right around 1.5. This is a coin flip play that we're getting for plus 210, which is insane. I generally like to give out plays like Ryan where there's a big difference and, maybe it's going to hit 60 or 70% of the time. This is going to win half the time, lose half the time. But at plus 210, it's just such a good number.
Yeah, tons of value here. This matchup doesn't get any better. Again, we just talked about dome games. The Bears defense has been absolutely atrocious since they traded away a couple of guys. Should be a pretty good spot for some points here, as the Vegas total indicates. So yeah, Matt Ryan over 1.5 passing touchdowns, and the big money is what makes it the great value here. So absolutely on board with this one. And we have a very similar play in our next one here, kind of the same thesis. We've got a resurgent Bears offense. We're going over to Bet Rivers for this one, staying in the same game, looking to the other side at the other quarterback here. Give Steve just a moment to catch up here. We are again looking at passing touchdowns. Justin Fields obviously has been running all over the place. But the Bears offense has been far more efficient since he's been doing that. And we get another big plus money here. Looks like we did lose about 5 cents there. Are you still good with that? Or you?
Yeah, I'm still good there. Last night it was like plus 200. 10 minutes ago it was plus 190. Plus 185 is still fine. And like you said, it's a very similar play to the Mariota one. Like, this is a game in a dome. Fields is going into a dome. It's a high total, but it's two run heavy offenses. So people are like, well, the books just make these numbers worse than they should be. This is another one where the Blitz is projecting right around 1.5 touchdowns, and we're getting it at plus 185. It's a coin flip that we're getting at nowhere near coin flip odds.
Absolutely. I mean, great value there. Like I said, the Bears have been one of the highest scoring teams here over the last couple of weeks. And Fields has been looking even better as a passer too, despite rushing. So I like taking the shot here at the big plus money. The game environment should be amazing.
One thing to keep in mind here, a lot of books don't have this open yet. I'm curious what happens when some of the bigger books put it out there. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if someone winds up hanging a plus 200 or a plus 205 or something like that. So keep an eye on it. I'm fine hitting it at 185, but a better line might become available as more books open this market up. Great
points there. All right. So that'll do it for our 3 bets this week. Just a quick recap. We've got Matt Ryan over 221.5 passing yards at plus 110. We've got Marcus Mariota over 1.5 passing touchdowns at plus 210, and Justin Fields over 1.5 passing touchdowns at plus 185. As always, make sure you're keeping an eye on the Twitter feeds at Derek Carty and at RotoGrinders. We've added plays, I believe, every single week so far, so we should be adding at least a couple more plays before we get to kickoff on Sunday. But that will do it for the moment. Derek, do you have anything else before we get on out of here this week?
No, I think that's it. I mean, we're kind of embracing some high variance plays this week, but I think they're really good ones. And as more markets start to open up, definitely watch the Twitter accounts because we'll add stuff if there's more value.
Absolutely. Sounds good. We appreciate everybody joining us this week, and we will catch you next week for the Blitz Player Prop Release Show.